we are, Big City Soundoff on Remembrance Day, November 11th, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, a usual time slot. Today, first timers on the show. I think it's guest 108 or 109. Tonight we have, first timers. We got Brock and Mandy from Death Cassette. I'm going to give you guys the mic. Take it away. Tell me who you are. Tell me about Death Cassette.
Okay, well, I'm Mandy. I sing and play guitar in Death Cassette.
And I'm Brock, and I play the drums.
Yeah, so we've been a band for like 6 years now, which is crazy to say. Um, and we have a couple releases. Grim in 2020 and Get Rid of It 2023. Currently working on some new stuff. I don't know what exactly you would call us in the realm of punk, but we are very like grunge influenced. And we write some fast punk songs. We also have some slower, longer jams. So kind of all over the place.
Awesome. I guess we could go right to the big one coming up is your show at Side Stage. You're doing a Distillers tribute set. A Killers one would be kind of crazy too, but you're gonna do the Distillers.
Yeah. So basically, like over the years, like and more recently, people have said, "Oh, hey, like man, do you sound like Brody Dahl? Like, would you ever consider doing like a cover set?" And I'm like, "No! Like, oh my god, I want to write music. I don't have time for that." But then thinking like maybe it could be like a fun way to like to just practice those songs and then like play to the people that have been bugging us for so long and fundraise our next album. So. We are playing at Side Stage on December 6th with the Murder Birds, who are doing Rancid, and then we've got some friends that are getting their Operation Ivy cover band back together for this night. It'll be like a Bay Area, LA punk scene kind of punk night, so it'll be really fun.
That's super cool. I used to be a big fan of I mean, I still am, but I used to really listen to them a lot. Do you, both of you, do you have a favorite song from Distillers, or one you're even looking forward to playing?
I think one that I'm really looking forward to playing is The Hunger, because it is epic. And it'll be a fun, we can put our fun little spin on that. So
Yeah, I can't really say that I can pinpoint a favorite. I guess though, kind of thinking of it as I've been running through and learning the tunes, I always seem to get most excited for running through Die on a Rope. So not to give away too many that are going to be in the set, but there's
no. I always like that. This sounds so bad. That video of The Hunger, I think it was like a Rock in Rio or something, when Brody like steps away from the mic and the saliva's like stuck to it. That's like, it's such a rock star moment, right? It's a great song though. Rancid doing or Murder Birds doing Rancid. I mean, I've seen the Murder Birds do Rancid songs. Fantastic. Not familiar with the Operation Ivy covers, but I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be a great night. That is December 6th at Side Stage. Have you played Side Stage before?
we have. We actually played there last week. We opened for Teen Mortgage, and that was a blast. And then we played Side Stage like maybe a week after they opened last year. So, yeah.
Great venue.
Was that just our second show there too?
Yeah.
Get one more in. I think I've been to a handful of shows there as well, just in the audience, and yeah, it's an awesome venue. Like it's great for bands. Like it's well laid out. There's a good amount of space, and you know the size and the shape of the room makes it really fun. You can pack that room real tight and have a pretty awesome evening. And the sound is great, and yeah, we're excited to get back there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those places where Winnipeg really needed a spot like that.
Yeah, so
Um,
one of those other venues closed. It's to have like a smaller, like more intimate venue that doesn't have like a disconnect between the performer and the audience.
yeah, exactly. And it's one of those places like Punk Fest this year. It was at Punk Fest night 2 I was at, and it was packed, right? And you're by the merch booth and you're still like shoulder to shoulder, but it's packed in there. It's 240 people, whatever it is, right? I've been to those shows. I've been to shows that are a bit more intimate and seated events, right? And capacity is always obviously down with the seated events, but just a great venue, a great sound in there. They've done such a great job. It's awesome seeing the amount of shows coming through there.
Totally.
All ages.
Yeah, it's a good one too. um, with with the band, I just want to kind of touch on your 2023 Get Rid of It EP. Mandy, I said before we went live, I did Leaves this year for a couple hours, and I listened to it over and over. And that was right after I talked to you about coming on the show, and just became a big fan. Right? It's kind of like you said, it's a punk band, but there's also some grunge element to it, and it's not just a 2-minute punk songs, right? You got a lot more going on than that, and just a great EP. Are you working on some new stuff right now?
Yes, we definitely are. I'd say we have like 6-ish songs that are done, and then some of the ones that I just finished, and like a few more that like are just ideas like to work on and finish for an album. So we're looking to record in like March.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we've actually got studio time booked in the new year. So yeah, we put out that record. We actually finished Get Rid of It in the studio in the summer of 2022, and we played quite a handful of shows, and we struggled with a bit of a I guess a collective writer's block with putting out new music. But several months ago, the dam kind of broke loose, and we've hammered out a good handful now that we're quite happy with. So yeah, we've got another couple that are currently being refined, but yeah, jumping back in the studio in a few months, and looking forward to working through that again.
Cool. How does writing going in the band? How where does it start?
I would say individually, like either Lindsay or Chuck will come up with a riff, or the odd time I will, and then we'll get together and just do like string jams a lot of the time, where we'll just have like a couple of us in a room and a little bit more quiet, trying to work through those riffs, seeing if we have basic structure. And then from there, I'll just throw lyrics over top.
Cool.
Not like writing the whole song. It's very collaborative, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's typically a skeleton gets built with the guitars and bass, and at that point is usually when it comes to me. We get together and we'll do like full volume jams. I can't play a guitar to save my life, so I don't contribute to any like actual writing. But in terms of structure, we're a lot more collaborative on figuring out where riffs should go and how to transition from one to the next, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a little more collaborative once that skeleton's been built.
Cool. It's always neat to hear people's writing styles, like different bands, different ways, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's jump to another thing I noticed there. You guys just came back from a tour out west.
Yes.
Tell me about touring as a Manitoba band.
People are pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of people come through Winnipeg, so we find that we know someone through like 1 or 2 degrees of separation. So it's easy to like, get pretty friendly with folks. We went out to Saskatchewan, but we also drove past there, went to Calgary, just outside of Red Deer. We were in Sylvan Lake, and then we went out to Edmonton and play with some bands out there like Midnight Peg and Rebel Girls and Trashed Ambulance. So that was super fun.
Yeah, it was an idea that we've been talking about for years. We've just never been able to get it off the ground. But Josh with Trash Ambulance he runs High End Denim Records, and he helped us with the release of Get Rid of It. If we didn't have him, we would not have done that tour run. He was super motivated to get us out there. And as soon as we told him that we were actually interested and gave him a range of dates that we could work with, he was just like a machine unleashed, and away I go, right? And like, okay, you can play this venue here, and I can get these bands, and this date we can go play here and get these bands. Like, he basically did everything for us, which was enormous. Like, we obviously had some input, but he did. He really made that happen. So big shout out to Josh.
Yeah, he definitely had all the connections, and he hosts shows out there with the label, and yeah, super helpful.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It was pretty fun. It was a very exhausting couple of days, though. Like, power to the bands that go on long tour runs. I mean, we also did it in a pretty stripped down version. Like, we had no help on the road. It was just the four of us doing everything. And I can see now how far that extra set of hands or multiple extra set of hands really goes. Like, you know, you load up the van, you drive to the city, you unload the van, you do the sound check, you play the show, you tear it down, you bring everything back into the hotel overnight because you never know.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed at like 3 a.m, and then you wake up and you do it again. And then you wake up and you do it again, and then you wake up and do it again.
Or you sleep in bed because the hotel is sketchy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
We also did it on a shoestring budget. So, so that contributed to the overall experience, but it was fun. We made out all right. We had no van issues, we had no gear issues, and we had no major disputes within the band. So that's all.
You did it.
Yeah, we did it. We got it.
Is that the first time you've gone on a tour?
Yeah, like
yeah,
left the province to play, and it's just like Brock said, just something that we've wanted to do, but just hadn't sat down and actually like sorted out the logistics of that.
Mm-hmm.
I always find it really inspiring hearing bands coming out of coming from Manitoba going out west, because I guess what I'm hearing, and like I said, with all these guests, I've had people from Saskatchewan, from Alberta talking on here, and the Alberta ones talk about doing like the whatever circle it is. It's like the Calgary, Red Deer, Edmonton, Lethbridge thing, and you got to 4. But for Manitoba, to do anything in Manitoba, what are you going to do? Go here, Brandon, Portage, and back? Like you got to cross over, right? But where is there to go in Saskatchewan? I guess the end result is you got to find your way to get to Alberta, right? But you got to play shows along the way, right? So,
yeah, it's pretty tough. You got to go really far, whether it's west or east.
Yeah,
right? It's a long ways before you actually get into some short drive cities. So,
yeah, like if we like Alberta, like I could see us driving for a night somewhere like Calgary or Edmonton, no problem. But just that those opportunities don't exist for us. We are.
Yeah, you got to get that 8-hour drive out of the way before you really get into that zone.
Exactly.
Canola, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the real test of if you're going to survive, is once you get through that first 8-hour drive, then 8 hours in a vehicle altogether, you should be good after that, right?
Yeah, pretty rocky start for us. We had to stop 5 times in the first couple of hours for pee breaks.
Someone's pee break.
Yeah, somebody, and it wasn't anyone on this call right now. But that was a fun little test of some patience. of mine. I have a pretty grumpy old man mentality, and if that was the expectation that we were going to continue for the rest of the run, then I may not have been able to say that we had no disputes between the bands. So we figured it out.
That's great. Tell me about a Death Cassette show. Anyone who hasn't seen you, tell me about a show. What if I went to, well, me for example, I haven't seen you, and you played Tapos too with Goblin Pit Fighter, I believe.
Yeah.
I remember because we played the same month there. I remember seeing the name there. But tell me about a Death Cassette show. What do you expect going in there? What should a audience member expect going in there?
Well, they should expect me to yell at them. It'll be very loud. There will be some very steady beats, lots of thick bass. Yeah, just like your classic punk show. It might be a little bit of mosh because our mosh pits are just full of sweaty, shirtless men. I love that. But yeah, just like a punk show that's more giggly, pushing around in the pit than what you're used to, and yeah, I don't know what else you would think, Brock.
Yeah, no, it's all that, right? Like I think we're a relatively high energy performing band. Yeah, like we go reasonably hard, which is fun for me. It's why I do what we do and why I like playing with this band. Yeah, I think we have some sections in some of our songs that are a lot heavier than others, as the music kind of flows. And I think it was JP from Private Ear. I can't remember exactly what he said, but there was this one section, one of the tunes when we were recording them, and we were just listening back to the tracks. It's like, God, you guys really get excited to get into that section of the song, eh? Like, yeah, like I know it's coming. We get ready to drop into this little sort of breakdown section, and yeah, it's lots of fun. I think it translates into the crowd, and I think most of our audience members like have a good time. That's kind of all I can hope and all I can say.
Yeah, we get excited, and if you're having maybe a tenth of as good of a time as we are.
Question I always like to ask bands that are playing a kind of in a certain genre,
Yeah.
and I always get a surprising answer out of it. But growing up listening to music, not sure when you started playing, personally, but who are some influences of yours at a younger age growing up?
I started playing guitar when I was 10, and my influences were like for sure Kurt Cobain because I got my hands on Nevermind, really cool record. And then my dad bought me an Alanis Morissette tape, and he's like, "You're gonna think this is really good one day, but maybe you'll like it now." And I ended up liking it then. So those are what I would say probably two biggest at that age.
Yeah, I think I may be one of those lumped into that category of surprising for you, or maybe not. I'm a big metalhead. I always have been. So like I started playing drums in high school, and like my big musical influences at that time were like Lamb of God, Protest the Hero, like like technical, heavy. So that I think that's part of what contributes to an element of our band's sound, right? Is we're more than just a typical grunge punk band. Like everybody sort of brings different elements into it, which helps kind of make things a little different than sort of a more cookie cutter sort of sound.
Cool. Yeah, it's always interesting. I talked to like a metal band recently, and one of them were into like melodic like pop music, right? It's
Yeah.
like, really? But never thought that. But it's surprising how many bands, current bands that are still doing their thing are just into some seriously different stuff.
Yeah.
And
When
then
on tour, we were playing like just taking turns playing different records, and I made Gaga. So yeah.
that's good though. It's cool. Who are some local bands that you like?
Are we thinking from the past or currently?
Either or, but I'm gonna stop you there for a second. I'm gonna tell you something. I posted a thing yesterday. I have this crazy contest coming up that very few people know about, and I'm gathering information right now. And I posted a thing 2 days ago, and it was, who are your favorite local bands? That's all I want to know. Just comment, right? I think right now between my page and the musicians and friends page, I think I have 150 comments on it now. And your name came up a couple times.
Oh,
And I thought it was super cool. And the one that mentioned one of them that mentioned your name, guaranteed, mentioned your name, I'm a big fan of, and it was Jada from Ticked Off. Mentioned your name. And I'm a big fan of Ticked Off. They're playing my festival this year. I'm so excited for it. So, but yeah, your name came up a couple times with, there was a lot of names. There were a lot of names. But anyway, yours came up a couple times. So it just made me think of thinking of that question and just want to know who you're listening to. Could be current, could be old. Don't matter.
for like older bands, like the ones that I really liked to go to and I still listen to are the Quiffs and Wife. This is like throwback. American Flame Whip and Shrimp. Shrimp is like the women punk rock version of Weird Al, I think, a little bit. But they're a Winnipeg band. They're awesome. And then like currently like some bands that are really good that I like to go watch are No Complacent and Trauma Shot. Show Pony's awesome. There's just so many bands. Luana Moth. Luana Moth is incredible. Go see them. And yeah, there's just so many. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you mentioned Goblin Pit Fighter earlier. Those dudes rip so hard. They're so fun. They're so fun. We also played earlier this summer with Peace Breach.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of theirs as well. And one of the other bands, a little on the heavier side, but Killing Hammer is doing really cool stuff. My previous band, Bear Fight, that's the singer from Bear Fight, Killing Hammer, same guy. They're awesome, super fun, and from at least my perspective, they're doing some unique things in that sort of hardcore metal-ish realm.
Awesome. Mandy, someone mentioned Quiffs in that list.
Legends.
Yeah. And I can't remember who it was, but someone mentioned them. And they said it was the only answer. That's so good.
Amazing. They are mostly right.
It's cool. Winnipeg is so rich with just so many good bands, whether they're still doing their thing or still going, not going anymore. I mean, before we went live, Mandy, I won't call you out on it, but I did mention an old band of yours that I remembered when I recognized you, and I'm like, she's got to be from that band.
Yeah.
And super cool. Super cool. Merch. Do you have merch?
We do have merch. We have some T-shirts with our logo or with our EP design on the front. We also have long sleeves, and we've got toques. So
We've got toques. It's Christmas time.
We have
Exactly.
colors of toques. So yeah.
We've got four color variants. 4, right?
Yeah. We
Black, gray, red, and purple.
Awesome.
Yeah, those are fun. Toques are good. It's getting cold, unfortunately. It is inevitable.
Buy the toques.
That's Winnipeg, yeah. Exactly.
Buy the toques. Now, besides the show coming up on the 6th, is there any other shows you want to bring up, or do you have anything else lined up?
No, we don't actually have anything else lined up other than that, unless I'm completely blacking out.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, we're pretty focused after this December show on tightening things up, getting ready for the studio in the spring or late winter, whatever. So yeah, we'll probably be a little less frequent with shows over the next several months. But yeah, once we're out of the studio, we'll be ramping things up for the summer. I'm sure the right opportunity will pop up, and I doubt that we'll go on hiatus until the studio is done. But yeah, they'll be less frequent. We really gotta make sure we put the energy into preparing for that recording session.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Playing shows is fun, but I find it can be a little bit distracting from what we're trying to do. So
yeah, we learned that. We learned that not quite the hard way, but we learned that. we also learned in the peak of the pandemic that we are not a band that can really write well without being in a room together. So we can only do so much when we're on our own for writing tunes and all that. So yeah, gotta make energy for that.
Which brings up something else. I mean, a lot of bands I've talked on here haven't been together for 5 years. Tell me about Death Cassette in the pandemic.
oh, well, that sucks. Well, we released Grim the day before everything closed down, and we weren't sure if we were even going to have that CD release party that was at the Park Theater that night.
It was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was Friday.
2020.
Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, like a band dropped off, and then there was people left and right. They're like, I don't know if I should come. I don't want to get sick. And then there was like the other half of people that are like, oh my God, I don't know how much time we have left to get to.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Crazy, eh?
Super weird. Like, it was right at the beginning where nobody really knew what the hell was going on. Like, I remember staff at the Park Theater were like walking around and sanitizing tables in the middle of the show because like we don't know what to do. So, but yeah, once we got through that, I mean, I think we just sort of went on hiatus for a little bit. I think just based on some of our day jobs, we had to be extra cautious with that. And yeah, I think that hiatus kind of stretched for quite a while. We tried to figure out a way to do things remotely and just didn't really pan out very well for us. Fortunately, no priorities really changed as a result of it. So once things started leveling off, we just kind of got back into it. and we definitely. I remember being a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of riffs that we had sort of backlogged. Trying to figure out what to prioritize to actually work on was almost an issue for a little while, but at least from what I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually we just kind of found a way to make it work. And then I also remember late in, was it? I think it was December of 2020. We were playing a show at the Daughter, I think.
Yeah.
And like that day, an announcement came out that they were tightening restrictions and like we were going back into lockdown. We were like, oh no, is this like? I think that was our first show too since.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, is this our reputation now? Like, we're just the Grim Reaper?
Yeah.
Basically. What are we doing? So, yeah, it was some weird times, man. It was weird.
What a time in life. I remember, I think it was a week before it shut down. I was at a Kiss concert in the States with like 25,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
And then like a week later, boom, it was gone. They're like, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
me and my wife had a kid during COVID, like,
Yeah.
and it was like, you can't have family over. I was like, what? No, we do.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild times for sure.
Yeah.
I worked in a nursing home, so I feel like there's 6 months of my life that I just don't remember because I'm at work all day every day, and I just like came home and passed out and then went back. You know, like there was, yeah, basically like March to September, I didn't have a life.
Unbelievable. You know what though? The bands, unfortunately we lost some venues, but the bands that survived and came out of it, I say survived in the sense that that some didn't proceed after, right? It broke some bands, it broke some venues, but the bands that came out of there came out with some really good music after.
Yeah, for sure.
So if anything, on the music side, we got some good music out of it. So
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I see Tracy and Rusty commenting in there. Hey, Rusty. Awesome. Anything else you want to touch on? The show, December 6th.
Yeah, December 6th, we're playing at Side Stage. I'd say the tickets are like halfway sold. So if you're like on the fence about going, I would not wait to buy a ticket because this will sell out either before or like on the day of. You'll just be not able to get in. So best to get a ticket and save your spot because it is a really fun night. So,
do you know what time you're going on?
We are going to go on last, so I would imagine 11-ish. About
Nice.
that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, come on down. Doors are at 8. I just had to double check. Doors are open at 8. I mean, it's all going to be fun. All 3 bands are going to put on a good show. Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty stellar evening, and yeah, come out and party before the holidays consume you.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on tonight. Thanks for talking. You know, I feel bad that my intro to Death Cassette only happened like a month ago, and it should have happened years ago. Big fan. Wish I could be at that show, but I told you I got a show. I'll probably get off the stage when you're getting on the stage. But you know what? Have a great show. Looking forward to hearing new music, and looking forward to seeing you you know, in the new year.
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate you having us.
No problem. Okay, so this went live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I don't know what Twitch is. I just logged in and it goes there. Someone is watching on Twitch though. I keep getting notifications. Someone's logging in to watch. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Yeah, great chat. We'll catch up with you later. All right.
Right on. Thank you.
Thank you.